Hello, this is an mgzt 120, and you did hear that right, 120. This is a 1.8 litre naturally aspirated mgzt with about 120 is supposed to refer to the horsepower, 120 in a car that weighs that much. That's going to be fun. But that's not what it's here for. What it's here for is a horrendous noise, apparently coming from the front end. I don't know what it is. The owner has not been able to trace it. They've had it up on ramps and whatnot on the driveway, not been able to find it. Could be a mystery noise. So we just need to take it for a quick run around the yard, see if that brings it up. If it doesn't, I'll have to take it further. But yeah, hopefully we can try and figure out what this noise is. And then once we found the noise, we've got the fun and games of finding parts for an mgzt, which I don't know how bad that would be, but I'm guessing, well, probably not as bad as a C6, but not great. All right, let's go and have a listen. I don't know how far I'll need to go. I can hear lots of water sloshing around. Hopefully I won't need to go out the estate because I haven't put anything away. Oh! Knob's fallen off. Not hearing anything so far, but here's a speed bump. Oh, holy! Oh! Well, that's either the car or there is a sniper somewhere, or fireworks. Oh wow. Right, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn around and go back before whatever it is that's threatening to fall off falls off. Oh! Right, so that sounds... So that's near side front, I would say. Could be anti-roll bar related because it did it when the offside went over it, but the noise is coming from the near side front. Let us have a look. It could be a spring. Do these suffer broken springs? If there's a broken spring, I'd expect it to do it. There. Right. Well, that'll be it. I said anti-roll bar, didn't I? Yeah, I'm guessing that drop link hanging out's probably got something to do with it. Well, it's now 6 o'clock and the parts places are closed. So, yeah, I've not timed that well. But it needs a drop link, that's all it is. This is not going to be a long video. That is potentially wheel off and 2 bolts, or 2 nuts. So I'm just eking it out. See the election last night? Windy. Watched hours. How YouTube works. Yeah, that'll do it.
72 hours later.
Hello. It's now a few days later and I finally have a drop link. I mean, to be fair, I got this like well, I think I did the video on the Friday. I got this on the Monday. The local factor had it in stock, which I was surprised about. Well, the owner said I didn't need to rush it, so I haven't. I've been doing other things. But now the time has come to do the massive job that is drop link. I'm not trying to eke this video out because it won't be long enough otherwise. It's rare, isn't it? Normally video's too long. Now it's not going to be enough in it. I just realised I missed the opportunity to film it being the ramp going up and then me jacking it up. That would have wasted another minute or so if I'd strung it out with music. That's annoying. Yeah. So this is not me wasting time making up for that. Absolutely not. Well, I said it wouldn't take long enough, but the windy gun won't get the wheels off. I think somebody has massively over tightened these. We'll find out. Really? I've broken my breaker bar as well. Well, I said it would be easy. It's my own fault. Jinxed it. Bloody hell. One down, 5 to go. All right, I'm not going to laugh at my windy gun anymore. I defy any windy gun to get those undone. God. Jesus. Right. You're wondering why the wheel didn't spin. Because I'm magic. They're greased. Probably been done up with a scaffolding bar, but behold. The thing is, when you jack the car up, the strut goes all the way down to the bottom of its travel because the spring is still trying to push down. If the strut wasn't there, then the spring would just keep pushing until it was slack, which would be like down here somewhere, and everything would just be all floppy. So, wow. It might actually be a bit of a pain in the arse, this, because that's quite difficult to get to. That's the same size as the wheel nuts. I wonder if I can be lazy. I can there. Apparently these weren't changed long ago. The customer has opted to just change one because they weren't done long ago. I can only assume that this is a failure. So it's completely failed. So how the hell, you can't even get a socket in there. And there's your access. Look, you've got the bottom one was fun because that weight, counterweight on the drive shaft made it this foul, although it wasn't too bad. But look at that. It's like, yeah, you can't get a socket on this. It's just spanner time. And you can't even get, oh, it's open-ended spanner or nothing, which is actually, that's so stupid. Why would they do that? Bit of spray, and then no, really, that's stupid. All right, now I have a selection of 17mm spanners to see if any of them, that one's definitely not going to fit. That one is a tiny bit smaller. please. It's on. But it won't, it can't turn because the strut's in the way. Right, that is absolutely, because like, why don't they just have it going flat down here and then have another right angle on it? Why are they trying to make it go into the bottom of the spring cup? No, genuinely. Right. I bet the book time on this is like 3 seconds. Have you seen what I've had to do? I've had to disconnect the steering rack and then just put this here to keep this thing from moving. I don't know. Is that 13? No. It's such a dumb design. Speaking of dumb, that was the wrong way. Apparently this isn't even that old. Shall we have a look and see what's happened to it? I think it's just run dry and worn away. It doesn't look like a failure. Nothing's split or cracked or anything. Yeah, it's just like it's just massively worn away. Must have been a break in the gator. Maybe a bit of water's got in there or whatever. Looks like it's been parked in the sea, doesn't it? Oh well. That's what that was. This is stupid because you're trying to do the nut up at the top, the nylock. You can't do it up because you're spinning the whole joint round. There are some flats on the joint, which you can get a spanner on. 15mm spanner fits them until you get to a point where the flats are only that deep because they're being squished between the joint and the strut, so you can't get your spanner in there anymore. I mean, many joints, I don't know where they've gone now, have an Allen slot in the top. So you can put an Allen key in there if it really comes to it when you do the nut up. But you can't get to that because the strut's in the way with the spring on top of it. I mean, like, this is MG Rover, isn't it? I bet that drop link there was one they already produced and fits a maxi or something. So they were like, oh, we can't go to the expense of having a new drop link. We'll make it fit. I don't know. That might be a BMW or something. But I can't get in here to do this up. It's ridiculous. I'd need the world's thinnest 15mm spanner, which I do not possess. It's such a poor design. I hate stupid designs. It really winds me up. Sometimes things are hard to get to. Sometimes components can be difficult to change because of the nature of them. That does happen. Engines can be a pain to get to. I fully appreciate that. Clutches can be a pain to get to. Fully appreciated. An anti-roll bar drop link should not be. Should be a dead easy thing to change. And I can't even go, I've got to be careful with this spanner because if I pull this boot down, I'm going to rip the boot. And the only spanner that fits is the crow's foot one. It's a brake pipe spanner. Brake pipe on a bloody JCB. But like that'll do. The suspension on this is from the Ford S-Max School of Design, isn't it? Right, I always try and include a bit of comedy in these videos, so what I'm going to do now is go and see what the book time is for doing that, and go and find out how much I'm charging the customer for this. And you could say, well, how would you know you're charging what the book time says? You might not have taken as long as the book time. Honestly, it'll be 20 minutes or something stupid like that. Half an hour. That's the book time. Half an hour. I mean, I suppose you probably could do it in that, but you've got to think about garages. Sorry, if you hear this, I've got a cough sweet. You've got to think about garages. Every minute costs money in the workshop. So these book times don't even include you sort of bringing the car in and out, and putting it on the ramp and jacking it up and trying to get the wheel. Well, that probably do include trying to get the wheels off, but I mean, technically book times are for cars of a working age, you know, cars that aren't really, really, really old and all seized up, but that might be considered quite old now. Not really by me, but by most people who drive SUVs. But it wasn't seized up, was it? Droplink wasn't seized up. It was just a poor design. So could I have done it in half an hour? I think if you gave it to me again now and said do it in half an hour, I probably would be able to, but can't charge more than that. Sometimes I would. Sometimes I'd say to the customer, look, the book time is this, but that falls outside the remit of whatever on the book time because, you know, of the age of the car or modifications or things like that, but not with this. Plus they're letting me film it, so yeah. They get the book time. Took me about an hour. They only pay half. I'm in the wrong job. Right, I'm going to watch the football.